Hello everyone, it's us, the passionate team here at TV Day's Drama Digest channel. We're your go-to source for all the juicy, edge-of-your-seat updates from the world of daytime soaps, and today, we're diving deep into one of the most gut-wrenching storylines currently unfolding on Days of Our Lives. If you're a die-hard fan like us, you know that Salem is never short on drama. Betrayals, secrets, love triangles, and life-altering accidents are just par for the course in this iconic town. But the latest developments involving young Thomas DiMera have us all on pins and needles, our hearts pounding with anticipation and dread. We're talking about that shocking moment in the recent episode, where Thomas's life hangs in the balance after a terrifying incident that could change everything for the DiMera family and beyond. If you've been following along, you might be wondering, did Thomas really fall into a coma after that horrific accident? Or is this just another masterful cliffhanger designed to keep us glued to our screens? In this extended deep dive article, we'll unpack every thrilling detail, expand on the emotional undercurrents, and speculate wildly but thoughtfully on what might come next. We'll relive the build-up, dissect the key scenes with dramatic flair, explore the characters' psyches, and even draw parallels to past Salem catastrophes. Buckle up, soap lovers, this is going to be a rollercoaster ride of emotions, and we're aiming to make it as immersive and detailed as possible. By the end, you'll feel like you've lived through the episode yourself. And if you want even more, be sure to check our latest video breakdown on the channel, hit that subscribe button, and turn on notifications so you never miss a beat. Let's start by setting the stage, shall we? Days of Our Lives has been captivating audiences for decades with its intricate web of relationships, where love and hate intertwine like vines in an overgrown garden of secrets. At the center of this latest storm is Chad DiMera, played with brooding intensity by Billy Flynn. Chad, the heir to the infamous DiMera legacy, has endured more heartache than most characters could handle in a lifetime. Remember his tumultuous marriage to Abigail Devereaux, the love of his life, who was tragically murdered. That loss left him shattered, raising their children Charlotte and young Thomas amidst the chaos of Salem's endless intrigues. Thomas, portrayed by the talented young actor Kerry Christopher, who, rumor has it, is stepping away from the role for exciting new opportunities, is the epitome of innocence caught in the crossfire of adult drama. He's a bright-eyed boy with a fiery spirit, often mirroring his father's determination but with the vulnerability of youth that tugs at our heartstrings. Now, enter Kat Green, the enigmatic newcomer played by Annalyn McCord, whose arrival in Salem has stirred up a whirlwind of complications. Kat isn't just any character. She's tied to a convoluted plot involving her brother Mark Green and a family history riddled with trauma. Their mother, Felicity, has been a shadowy figure in the background, her mental health deteriorating under the weight of past horror scripts, linked to the nefarious schemes of Clyde Weston or other Salem villains. In recent episodes, we've seen Kat grappling with her own demons, her facade of strength cracking under pressure. And then there's Jennifer Horton, the steadfast journalist and matriarch, embodied by Melissa Reeves, who brings a grounding presence to the madness. Jennifer's return to Salem has been a beacon of stability, but even she can't shield the one she loves from the town's relentless turmoil. To truly appreciate the drama of Thomas's potential accident, we need to rewind and recap the events leading up to that fateful moment. It all began in the episodes airing around late October 2025, as Halloween loomed over Salem like a dark cloud pregnant with secrets. The town was abuzz with festive preparations, bumpings carved into grotesque faces, costumes hiding true identities, and an undercurrent of mischief that only Salem can deliver. But beneath the surface, tensions were boiling. Chad had been navigating a rocky path in his personal life, trying to move forward after Abigail's death while co-parenting with Stephanie Johnson for a time. However, Kat's entrance complicated everything. What started as a professional alliance that perhaps tied to investigative threads involving the DiMera Enterprise blows on into something more emotional, drawing Chad into her orbit. In the episode just before the cliffhanger, we saw Chad in a vulnerable state, wandering the Horton Town Square, that iconic hub of Salem life where so many pivotal moments unfold. The square, with its twinkling lights, quaint benches, and the ever-present aroma of coffee from the nearby cafe, often serves as a deceptively peaceful backdrop for explosive revelations. Chad overheard Kat on a tense phone call with her doctor, her voice trembling like a leaf in the wind. She was pouring out her soul, recounting how her mother, Felicity, had failed to recognize Mark during his recent visit. "It's like she's slipping away from us," Kat whispered into the phone, her words laced with despair. "All the psychological trauma she's endured. Could it be early onset dementia? I can't lose her too." The camera lingered on her face, capturing the raw pain in her ice-toast deep, haunted pools reflecting years of unspoken suffering. Chad, ever the compassionate soul beneath his DiMera toughness, approached her gently. "Kat, what's wrong?" he asked, his voice a soothing baritone that belied his own inner turmoil. She hesitated at first, her shoulders hunched as if carrying the weight of the world. But then the dam broke. She spilled the details, the family secrets, the trauma from their past involvements in Salem's underbelly, and the fear that Felicity's mind was fracturing irreparably. Chad, moved by her vulnerability, pulled her into a comforting embrace. It was a tender moment, charged with unspoken chemistry, the kind that soap operas excel at, where a simple hug can ignite 1,000 speculations among fans. His arms wrapped around her protectively, and for a brief instant the world of Salem faded away, leaving only their shared pain. But peace in Salem is fleeting, like a mirage in the desert. Just as Chad and Kat shared this intimate connection, the door to the square swung open, or rather, Jennifer and Thomas burst onto the scene. Jennifer, with her signature warm smile and flowing blonde hair, was holding Thomas's hand, perhaps returning from a Halloween outing. Thomas, dressed in a pint-sized superhero costume that accentuated his youthful energy, froze at the sight. His innocent eyes widened in betrayal, processing the image of his father holding another woman. Kat, sensing the awkwardness, pulled away abruptly and fled the scene, her footsteps echoing like thunderclaps in the tense silence. Thomas's reaction was explosive. A volcanic eruption of childish rage fueled by confusion and loyalty to his late mother's memory. "Dad, all you care about is her," he screamed, his voice cracking with emotion that no child should have to bear. The words hung in the air like daggers, slicing through Chad's heart. Jennifer tried to intervene, her maternal instincts kicking in as she reached out to calm the boy. But Thomas was beyond reason. He wrenched his hand free and bolted away from the square, his small legs carrying him into the darkening streets of Salem. The camera followed his frantic run, the soundtrack swelling with ominous music that foreshadowed impending doom. Chad's face contorted in horror. "Thomas," he bellowed, his voice raw with panic. He and Jennifer exchanged a terrified glance before sprinting after the boy. The scene cut to the street, where the screech of tires pierced the night, a sound that every soap fan dreads, evoking memories of countless vehicular tragedies in daytime TV history. The headlights of an oncoming car illuminated Thomas's frozen form, his superhero cape fluttering uselessly in the wind. Chad and Jennifer rounded the corner just in time to witness the chaos, their screams merging into a cacophony of despair. The episode ended on that nail-biting cliffhanger, leaving viewers gasping. Was Thomas struck? Would he survive, or would this be the catalyst for even greater heartache? Now, let's amp up the drama and delve into the speculation. As fans of Days of Our Lives, we've seen our share of accidents that reshaped the landscape of Salem. Think back to the infamous car crash that claimed the life of Daniel Jonas, or the hit-and-run that left Bo Brady in a coma for months. These moments aren't just plot devices. They're emotional earthquakes that test the resilience of families and reveal hidden truths. In Thomas's case, the previews and spoilers suggest a terrifying outcome. Reports from reliable sources like Soap Opera Digest and fan forums indicate that Chad, in a state of sheer panic, scoops up his injured son and rushes him to University Hospital, that bastion of medical miracles and melodramatic revelations in Salem. Imagine the scene: Chad bursting through the hospital doors, Thomas limp in his arms, blood staining his superhero costume, a stark contrast to the vibrant colors of Halloween. Nurses and doctors swarm, the beeps of monitors creating a symphony of urgency. Kayla Brady, the chief of staff with her no-nonsense demeanor, takes charge, barking orders while Chad paces the waiting room, his hands trembling. Jennifer, ever the pillar of strength, tries to console him, but her own eyes brim with tears. "He's going to be okay," she whispers, though doubt creeps into her voice like shadows at dusk. But what if Thomas doesn't wake up immediately? The rumor mill is buzzing with the possibility of a coma, classic soap trope that allows for dream sequences, ghostly visitations, and profound character growth. Picture Thomas in a hospital bed, his small chest rising and falling rhythmically under the sterile white sheets, machines whirring like sentinels guarding his fragile life. Chad would be devastated, blaming himself for the hug with Kat that sparked the chain reaction. "If only I hadn't. If only I'd been more careful with his heart," he'd lament to Jennifer, his voice breaking. This coma could serve as a narrative bridge, especially with young actor Carrie Christopher's departure from the show. Sources confirm he's landed a series regular role on a new Amazon Prime project set for 2026, meaning Thomas might remain in a coma off-screen until a recast, reportedly Henry Witcher, steps in come spring. Let's not forget the ripple effects on other characters. Kat, already burdened by her mother's potential dementia, would be racked with guilt. In expanded scenes, we could see her visiting the hospital in secret, whispering apologies to the unconscious boy. "I never meant to come between you and your dad," she'd say, tears streaming down her face. Her brother Mark, played with intensity by Rob Scott Wilson. Wait, no, actually, Mark Green is portrayed by Jonah Robinson in recent casts, would offer support. But their family trauma would deepen the drama. Felicity's conditionally dementia triggered by psychological scar smears, the broader theme of mental health in soaps, adding layers of realism to the fantasy. Rachel Black, Thomas's scheming accomplice in the pumpkin catapult incident, deserves her own spotlight. As Brady and Kristen's daughter, Rachel Alice Halsey is a pint-sized troublemaker with a penchant for mischief. In the lead-up episodes, she eggs Thomas on, whispering conspiratorially about Kat being a witch who bewitched Chad. Their plan to pelt Kat with a pumpkin using a makeshift catapult hidden behind the square's fountain was meant as childish revenge, but it backfired spectacularly. When Kat dodged into Chad's arms, it only fueled Thomas's jealousy. Rachel's involvement could lead to her own grounding by Brady, as spoiled in previews. But imagine the emotional fallout, a tearful confession where she admits, "I didn't mean for this to happen. Uncle Chad, we were just playing." To expand further, let's explore the psychological depths. Thomas's outburst, "All you care about is her," stems from deep-seated abandonment issues. Losing his mother Abigail at a young age left scars, and seeing Chad with Kat feels like a betrayal of that memory. In a longer narrative arc, this accident could force Chad to confront his grief head-on, perhaps through therapy sessions with Marlena Evans, Salem's resident psychiatrist. Marlena, with her wise counsel and history of helping Damaras, might draw parallels to Chad's own childhood traumas under Stefano's shadow. Jennifer's role adds another dimension. As Abigail's mother, she's fiercely protective of her grandchildren. Her presence in the scene wasn't coincidental, perhaps she was trying to mediate family tensions. In detailed flashbacks, we could revisit Jennifer's own Gloucestershire husband Jack's multiple deaths and resurrections, her battles with addiction. This accident might trigger her PTSD, leading to poignant moments where she confides in Doug or Julie Williams about the fragility of life in Salem. Now, let's broaden the scope and consider how this fits into the larger tapestry of Days of Our Lives. The show, celebrating its 60th anniversary on November 8, 2025, has mastered the art of intertwining storylines. While Thomas's fate dominates, parallel plots add richness. For instance, the custody battle over baby Tessero renamed Trey resolves this week, with Johnny and Janelle gaining guardianship, honoring the late John Black. Leo and Javi's heartbreak over losing the child they cared for mirrors the potential loss Chad faces, creating thematic symmetry. Xander and Sarah's frosty encounters hint at brewing conflicts, while Stephanie and Alex's discovery could tie back to Damara's secrets. Fan reactions have been explosive, flooding social media with theories. On X, formerly Twitter, users are posting under Salve the Mastol, speculating everything from a miraculous recovery to a body switch twist involving Vivian Alamain. One fan tweeted, "If Thomas goes into a coma, it's prime time for Abigail's ghost to appear and guide him back." Doldruma. Another pondered, Chad's hug with Katinasa or the start of a new affair? This accident changes everything. Forums like Reddit's or Disoffer Lives are ablaze with discussions, analyzing every frame for clues. Some point to the catapult scheme as a nod to classic Halloween episodes, like the 1990s possessions. Comparisons to past accidents abound. Remember when JJ Devereaux was in a coma after a drug overdose, leading to family reconciliations? Or Chirp Brady's motorcycle crash that erased her memories? Thomas's story could follow suit, perhaps with amnesia upon waking, forgetting his anger toward Kat and allowing for redemption arcs. Dramatically, envision dream sequences where Thomas interacts with deceased relative Asabigal appearing as an angel, Stefano as a devilish tempter guiding his soul back to the living. To heighten the tension, let's imagine extended scenarios. Suppose Thomas does slip into a coma. The hospital vigil becomes a hub for confrontations, Kat facing off with Jennifer, accusing her of meddling, Mark revealing a family secret that links the Greenest to the Damaras, even EJ Damaras sauntering in with snide remarks about Chad's parenting. The soundtrack would swell with poignant strings, close-ups capturing every tear-streaked face. Chad might kneel by the bed, whispering promises, "Come back to me, son. I need you." We all do. But hope flickers amid the darkness. Soaps thrive on resilience. Actors emerge stronger from comas, armed with new insights. Thomas could awaken with a renewed bond to Chad, forgiving the perceived betrayal. Kat might prove her worth by donating blood or uncovering a medical breakthrough for Felicity, paralleling her own family's struggles. This could blossom into a tentative family unit, with Jennifer's blessing healing old wounds. As we wrap this epic exploration clocking in well over 3,000 words of dramatic detail, we're left with burning questions. Will Thomas survive unscathed, or will a coma redefine his journey? Is this the end of Carrie Christopher's era, paving the way for fresh faces? And how will Kat's family trauma intersect with the Damaras' legacy? Only time and upcoming episodes will tell. Dear viewers, thank you for joining us on this deep dive. If this article has you as hooked as we are, head over to our TV Days Drama Digest channel for the full video analysis, complete with clips, interviews, and more speculation. Like, share, and comment below. What do you think happens next? Do you believe Thomas will fall into a coma? Let's discuss in the comments. Until next time, stay tuned to Days of Our Lives Bacows in Salem. Every day is a new chapter in the book of endless drama. Goodbye for now, and remember, life in Salem is never dull.